I love that. Hey, everybody. Hey, this is Tara Taglienti. Welcome to Energy Transformation Week. This is day 5, and I am really excited to bring to you um, intuitive healer and vibrational alchemist, Jade Yin Hom. And now I met Jade online on Facebook. And how I met her is she put out this really inspirational video, and it said, it was like a calling to everybody about raising the vibration of the planet. And in it, it said something like, it took a certain amount of number. It was like 3,500, something really, like a really big number. And it was like, when that many people choose to become conscious, there's going to become, it'll be a shifting point on the planet. And she said, so for the first 355,000 people that message me or comment on this video, I'm going to offer a free 30-minute session. And how can you turn that down? So I did that, and I got to meet one of the most interesting women and experience one of the coolest, I'm not even sure what it was. It was like a vibrational attunement, or what our session was called. And I'm going to let Jade explain more about what she does. And it was just really cool. And I've kept in touch with Jade ever since. And we've become really good, like Facebook and pals over the last couple of years, actually. So I'm really excited. Jade, I would like to introduce you and bring you out. And will you tell the viewers in your words who you are, what you do, and what your mission is in the world?
Thank you, Tara. Thank you so much for having me today. Yeah, I call myself an intuitive healer and vibrational alchemist, and I don't know what else to call myself, because I just like to play with energy. And like you and so many people, I used to be able to feel all these things and feel weirded out. Like somehow I felt like I was such an inadequate human being. And for a long time in my life, I felt like, how come everybody else know how to function in this reality and not cry and not be sensitive? And I would cry and be so sensitive to anything and everything, like I'm so unfit for life. And I used to work in healthcare. So many ways I was told that I don't belong there. And that just crushed me. And so for a long time, I gave up the idea that I can do any healing, because I was told that that was not right for me, that that I'm too sensitive, that I cry too much, and then I shut myself down.
Wow.
And did administrative work, and I got more and more depressed, and because I had to turn so much of me off.
Jade, can I say something? We have something similar. I had a similar experience, and first went into the medical field as like, well, I care about people, so I want to go into the healing world, and I thought that was the only way to do any kind of healing. Well, I had a job in the hospital, and I kept crying over the patients, and when I'd be with their families and handing them tissues and stuff like that, and the nurses would come around me and say, listen, you can't be doing that here. You can't be crying like this. And I was like, well, they remind me of my family. They remind me of this or whatever, and I was always told very, very, very sensitive. And I realized I'm not going to be able to do this. I can't be working. I can't do healing work. Or, I had a similar experience. And that's really exciting, because eventually, obviously, you found your path. Will you talk a little bit about what your path was like? Like, what was next? Like, it was like, here you are. You have to choose something different. You care deeply about people, and you want to see something different for them. And then here you are, like, well, now I got to do an administration job. What happened then?
Yeah, and I just want anyone and everyone who has ever been medicated to know that um, there's nothing wrong with you just because somebody put a label on you. Because at that point, I thought there was something so wrong with me. And so, of course, I went to my doctor, and of course, she gave me antidepressants that got me to be, I was so not myself when I was on medication, but it was okay for that part of my life because I was so out of a touch with who I am and what I need that even know that. And then I felt like so much shame for needing help, for needing to be on antidepressants. And I just want to share that because I know so many sensitive, empathic people would get depressed or take on the world sort of, and then somehow feel maybe as inadequate as I was. And when you go for help, your symptoms are misunderstood and you're given an easy label and you're being medicated. So for a while I was medicated, but I was always going to weekend seminars and all that. And one weekend I just happened to be by a man, and she was just touching them lightly and able to feel what was going on with the other person. And I'm like, oh my God, that's what I've been able to do my whole freaking life. And except that I am out of control and cry a little more than she does or whatever. And then I realized that what was called, I don't know, being too overly sensitive was just enormous intuition. Then at that point, I just wanted to learn something about energy healing so that I can start using that gift right away. So I learned Reiki and had a pretty profound experience with my first Reiki attunement when I was able to see and hear more things. And it grew gradually on me. Like I remember when I first began working on someone, I was able to hear light sounds, and I realized it was the sound of different chakras or the sound of their auras and stuff. And then after learning to trust that I really am able to hear what I'm able to hear, then I was able to hear more things and messages and so on. And I learned many other energy healing modalities. I mean, I'm always learning. And so I was always just curious. And then I just added on more stuff and learned to trust myself more and gave myself attunements of all sorts all the time just for fun, just because I could. So that's how it all started.
Yeah.
And the weird thing was, looking back, there were a whole hell lot of things I had no idea about being in private practice. I just did it anyway, and I'm glad I kind of did it like that without overthinking.
So it's like you just kind of went for it intuitively, like, okay, I'm gonna build my practice and just trust. Like you say, you keep saying something over and over, and that's trusting yourself. And I know that this is like part of being an energy worker and an energy healer is like when you first start out, it's like you're getting all this information and you're kind of like, well, did I change anything here for you up to, to your clients and stuff? At least for me, I was like, how's this going? Um, what, and it's always that, like it's something that we may question ourselves at first because we've been trained to question ourselves and not trust ourselves. But now it's just like, listen, it's like, that. Will you speak a little bit more about that kind of journey?
Yes. In some odd ways, I feel like perfect time to help me learn. So like my very first patient, if you call it, was a dog who had thyroid cancer. cancer. And at that time, I was still working in the hospital and I work in oncology. And the amazing thing was this dog that I did Reiki on, that many other energy healers also did Reiki on. In about a 3-month period, that dog was healed of cancer. And I thought, wow, and I work in oncology and I don't see that sort of a thing happening. Because I know that it cannot be the placebo effect.
Jade, Jade, we cut out just a little bit. When you spoke about you don't see that kind of thing in oncology, can you repeat yourself from there?
Yes. So in the hospital, usually I don't see people recovering that quickly if they do. And to be fair to hospitals, there are a lot of patients who get chemo on an outpatient basis. They are the healthier people and they are the ones who probably recover. But by the time somebody needs to be hospitalized for all the treatments, they are in pretty bad shape. And so what was amazing about seeing this dog heal was that, you know, you cannot just say it's the placebo effect. You cannot assign something like that to it. So I began to trust myself. And then one day, a medical writer sent me her mother-in-law who supposedly had kidney cancer. And I just did a distant healing on her. And 3 weeks later, that tumor no longer showed up in her CT scan. So I thought, well, I didn't mess with the CT scan. So I feel like something is working because the doctors couldn't explain why it wasn't on a CT scan anymore. And they thought that maybe it was a mistake on their part. So I thought, you know, so I am pretty lucky with the clients I attract who were also patients in the regular traditional system who always had like CT scans or platelet counts and all that to verify where they're at. So I am kind of luckier that way.
Oh, cool.
That the proof I need was there.
That's awesome. How does it get any better? Listen, in that video, in the video that I saw out there, you spoke about talking to the body. Can you and this is like your style of healing work, as you were talking about talking to different body parts, and then you get some information and then you kind of talk. Will you explain a little bit more about your style of healing work and what that means to be talking to the body?
Yeah, so that comes from the very early part of me feeling like I'm able to hear the sound, the different sounds in different parts of the body when I'm working with someone. And when I just energetically connect with it and ask what's going on here, then I do get a message of some sort. And I think that many people are able to do it too. But I am a little different from the traditional medical intuitives in that I don't pre-assign certain things to different body parts. I think that medical intuitives pre-assign an issue related to this, related to that, and I find that bodies are very individual and they're kind of tricky. And so when I tune into a body and ask what's really going on, it just gives me surprising images that I learn over time to accept. And like I want to share one that was really out of the box just to show you how it works. So I had a patient once who had a low platelet count, and the oncologist her as leukemic or knew how to really diagnose.
Oh,
So when she
hang
came,
on. I just want to stop you for just a second. It got a little choppy there when you started to say oncology or oncologist or something. So can you back to that and then, all right, cool.
okay, yeah. So okay, so the oncologist couldn't really diagnose her. So she came to me. And what I saw in relation to her platelets when I connect with her body was a dog peeing into a pool. And I'm like, what the heck? I need some real information. So then I finally asked the question, like, what the heck? Why is this dog peeing in a pool? What's this showing up for? Then I asked her, do you swim a lot? And she says, oh yeah, it's winter in Seattle. I swim all the time. That's how I keep fit. It's why I don't understand why I'm so tired, because I am exercising all the time in the pool. And then I just remember a lecture I heard about how chlorine interferes with the body's ability to make red blood cells. And it interferes with the whole blood platelet thing. So I told her that, and it was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, how would that ever be diagnosed that it was related to?
Like, yeah, like the chlorine in the pool. um, can you hear me okay? Oh, okay. Hey, Jade. Jade, are you there? Okay. It looks like Jade dropped her connection. So we'll just hang out for a little bit. Oh, she's coming back on. So I'm gonna. Hi, you're back. Yay. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Yeah. So it seems a little bit choppy, but it's still. I mean, this is some great information here. Like, my I have another question for you. Is that I did notice that in our session it was very visual. Like you receive a lot of pictures, and you work with a lot of visuals and stuff like that. And I wanted to know a little bit. I know I've seen you out there kind of experimenting with like different titles for your different programs and products and stuff like that. Will you talk a little bit about your style of energy work, and then also like what kind of products and programs that you have put together?
Yes, I am not sure what my actual style is right now. And
Mhm.
what I'm trying to do is like just be in the place of being this energy, being this holding the space for whatever shows up. And then just know that whatever shows up is something I can play with. Like the visual about the dog, like I don't know how I remember that chlorine interferes with the body's ability to make red blood cells. And probably seeing the dog peeing in the pool was like, okay, so the pool cleaner just added a lot of extra chlorine into that pool to clean the dog's pee. Right? And that's why she was getting
Oh
sick.
my God. Wow.
And
Wow.
and I have to say, I just have to be completely in the space of receiving, and whatever that means. Because when I'm with different people, I'm receiving from different parts of the universe, if you can say that. Like I know what you were saying about how I can connect with bodies. I remember working with somebody, and I keep on seeing this river in Rwanda when I was working on her appendix. And I told her, are you from Rwanda? I keep on feeling this river related to your appendix, because that's where we keep an extra supply of probiotics. And so it's like the first drink of water you took in life, that's contains all the information of where you were. And so I guess connecting to that part of her, I was able to see that she she says she is from Rwanda, and she did not know how I know that. And it's weird how when you stay open, things like that show up. And the reason why that show up for her was that she's in this country, so it's really hard for her body to adjust to the water, the ecosystem, the climate, the change, and her body was getting really sick, and it just needed to be feeling at home in the world somehow. And our guts, that hold all the bacteria, holds our history. And it's just pretty amazing when we don't pre-assign anything to anything we feel and be open to the information, because I am learning that when you allow yourself to be connected to every space, every point in space and time, you are allowing an infinite flow of information. And it's this connection to every point in space and time, which you just got right now.
Yeah, I did. It's like all going up my back right now.
Yeah, I can see you just got it, right?
I was like, woo. So
Oh,
awesome.
I just feel your back go shoo.
I know.
That's it, right? Every point in space and time. So it's like if you want to be more connected, say, to the angelic realm, you
Yeah.
can just move more of your energy there and bring it back. And something about connect to that space of every point in space and time. You can never put all the information in a linear fashion in an encyclopedia or website or anything. And that's how amazing we are. So I'm just learning to trust that we are that. And I want more and more people to get so connected to that, so
Yeah.
that
Oh, hello.
powerful we disappear.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I see you again.
Yeah.
Hey. Okay. So I lost you. I stopped hearing you at I'd like more people to be able to be connected to that oneness. I think it's more of what you're saying, or the interconnectedness.
Yeah, I just call it every point in space and time, because that just
Every,
makes it, yeah,
mm,
whether it's called oneness or cosmic mind or
or like,
yeah,
yeah, or like
yeah,
infinite. Okay. I got you.
infiniteness, yeah, infinite beingness, and I just
Yeah.
feel in my
Ooh.
people that life goes so quickly, and there's so many ways to heal the planet. Like for people who enormous gifts were allowed to, if they were more connected on this level as well, you know.
Oh,
So
Jade, hang on. I didn't hear you at the part where you said more people can heal the planet from the space. And I'm getting an echo, so I'm going to mute. But will you go ahead and repeat that? Because I think it was a really it was like a nugget. I could tell.
yes, I really believe that if more people are connected to who they are, to the infinite beingness of who they are, so many of the solutions to all the problems facing humanity, from the political problems, poverty, uh, global warming, any of that, people already know, wish that I can connect with more of them to create this shift in consciousness, the 8,367 people, or however many. And it's not about the number, as you know, because sometimes it just takes a few people who are really connected to hold space for lots of people to transform. Like, I think that everybody on your series this week, they hold enormous space for people to transform. So it isn't really about the 8,367 that I was playing with for a while. I think that so many people are ready to be there. It's just a matter of them being seen for who they are and being acknowledged for who they are and feel this deep knowing or validation. Well, the deep knowing comes from within, but validation may require other
Okay.
know and validate it.
Hey, hang on. I just lost you at the validation part. If you could just repeat that one part, please. Well, it looks like we might
Yeah,
be.
I feel like a lot of people who are really gifted and they're looking for validation, but it's more about acknowledging their own deep knowing without needing validation anymore, because knowing comes from within. That validation from others becomes less of an issue or barrier to who you want to be.
Okay. It is still a little bit choppy, but I get the gist of it. It's like it's like most of the intuitives and empathic and healer type people out there. It's like you want to seek the validation. The thing is that the deeper inner knowing, it's like after a while, once you get used to your own, like the way that you work and get to know how what discover like your gifts and talents, the need for validation simply just kind of goes to the wayside. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool, cool. These are well. This is great. This is really great stuff, and I'm really grateful. We are at the 30-minute mark, and I just want to ask if it's okay if we go over just a little bit. Oh, and I think we're a little choppy again. Did, did you hear
Okay.
me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so we're gonna go over just a little bit. Is that okay?
Oh, yes.
Okay, cool. All right, so basically, I guess the thing that well, how can people get in touch with you and like what is your website and yeah, oh yeah, one more thing. It's like what kind of programs or products or anything like do you have coming out? I know I've kind of ha- I've kind of been around and saw you asking about, hey, I have some new products. Would you guys like to kind of like I've talked to you about like some new things. I don't know if you would like to reveal anything on this interview, but if you'd
Oh,
like to, go ahead.
oh yes. I'm so excited that I get to play with this idea of holographic tools, and that I can visually like connect with something and then just program it, ask the universe for different algorithms, different light information that I can put into something that is still just in light form, and then like hand it to you. Like right now, what I'm seeing that I want to hand to you is I'm connecting to an orchid, a white orchid, that I'm just going to ask your guides and angels to program with whatever you need to help you step into the next space that you want to be able to occupy, or however you like to hold space for healing, whatever your next step is on your spiritual path, and who you are really wanting to be in your next step. So I'm just
Cool.
programming right now and ask you
Mm.
guys and angels to help out. And they just created an entire like a necklace of orchids, white orchids. So I'm just gonna send it over to you right now.
Cool.
Something around your neck or not. I don't know if you do or not.
Oh, wear jewelry and stuff. I love jewelry.
Just energetically around your neck right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so this holographic tools in the form of
Oh,
energy.
cool.
Yeah, and I remember the last time I was playing with creating tools for getting over winter because I'm in Seattle and I needed it myself. And I think it was a yellow rose, but now when I connect with it, I don't need to anymore because it isn't even there. So that means I don't need it anymore. And
Got
that's
it.
the level of healing we can all do now. Like we can just ask the universe to help us create something. And because I'm visual and I like flowers, I usually like to have a visual thing that I can at least connect to just trick my mind that it's there. Even though I know it's there energetically, I have to have something visual that is from this world that I can connect to, like a flower of some sort.
Yeah,
Something about those white and purple orchids
that's
that are
cool.
programmed for you right now. And
Yeah.
now I see one turning green
Whoa.
for a reason. But do you feel that?
Yeah, it's like it's my so I've got like kind of chills going up and down my spine right now.
Yeah. And the funny thing, not so funny, but
Mm,
the amazing thing about doing this work is like when we come together, I can play with you.
yeah,
And more of us will be able to play
yeah.
on that level.
Oh, we froze again.
Self.
Okay, hang on. We froze again when you said more of us will be able to play on that level. Okay, can you repeat yourself from when you said more of us will be able to play on that level?
So when play on that level,
Oh,
imagine all the problems we'll be able to solve on this planet. I mean, imagine the planet we'll be able to create together.
yeah, yeah. You know, it's pretty cool. It's why I've created this series is just because it's like I want to give people resources, and you know, if you're in that space, you know, I'm talking to everybody out there, is like if you're in that space of questioning or things are seeming a little bit intense and you're questioning yourself or questioning, just seeking and stuff like that. Things may be a little intense if you seem a little oversensitive, or people you've heard, why are you so sensitive so much? There may be, you may have a lot of it may be that you may have some talents and abilities that with, you know, if you can, with getting in touch with that, could be some of your biggest gifts. And so that's why I made this series. So if me and Jade are talking about here calls to you, Jade, will you let everybody know how they can get in touch with you and like what is your website and all that stuff?
Yes, you can email me at jadehom.com, and my website is jadehom.com. And I think that now that you have inspired me to do this, I think that I'm going to start a 21-day podcast where I share just a little bit of these healings every day for 21 days with people. So
Oh,
I
that's
think
cool.
because there's enough of us out there who are able to feel it. And there have always been people who were that sensitive, except that we over medicated them. And I just know the people who are suffering from schizophrenia, I mean, they have many pathways that are open, many more pathways that are open that the normal person doesn't have. And how wonderful would it be for them to know how to use those extra pathways that they have. That's
Yeah. You froze up again, Jade.
sorry.
No, it's
No, it's
okay.
okay.
I'm
I'm
also
also
echoing.
echoing.
So so what can you hear me now, or are you still frozen?
I
Okay.
can hear you. Yeah,
So yeah, there was like a an article written by a shaman that went to a mental health facility and was completely appalled by what he saw. And he was saying that like some of these people are having some of the most biggest spiritual breakthroughs of their lives, and they're being medicated and not able to like transform to the other side of it, you know. And it's out there on the web somewhere. You got like, if you guys should really look it up, it's a really interesting article. um, but nonetheless, I just would like to, I'd like to ask you, okay, Jade, this is the question that I ask everybody at the end of this, at the end of each video, okay? And I want to ask you this, okay? Imagine the younger you is watching this video, like the you that was making the choice to take the path of the healer, and like when you were like at the beginning, okay? What would you say to encourage her as the being that you are today?
yeah. I would say keep going and keep believing and just keep following your joy and keep on creating whatever brings you joy, because that's oh, that's what's gonna heal so many people. It's being in touch with our own hearts. That's where all healing begins. So I would say keep believing in yourself.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that you came on and took some time out from your schedule to be here, and to be here for everybody that's watching this now and everyone that's going to be watching this in the future. I know that there's a lot of great information in this video, and guys, I just would like to say thank you to everybody that's watching this now or in the future. Thank you for taking some time out of your day and watching Energy Transformation Week videos. And also, you know what, is there anything that you'd like to say to our viewers before we close?
Yeah,
Jade?
I was
Oh, we're
just thinking
frozen.
about creating okay.
I think we're good. No.
Because I think that people got excited when I was creating that holographic tool for you.
Hello? Oh,
So
okay. Hang on. I'm you're actually, your audio is dropping out. Can you go back to, I got excited when I was creating that holographic tool.
yeah, I just get a sense that a lot of people got excited uh, when you were able to activate the holographic tool that I was playing with you. So
Mhm.
I think I just want to tune into everybody on a call and create one for them. Would
Cool.
that be fun? So give me a of you. And with the help of all the guides and angels. Yeah, and everybody basically wants the same thing. What's the next step? So, okay. Okay, so if you're watching this now, just imagine having this beautiful white rose, white orchid around your neck that's filled with different energies and frequencies and light information. And then anytime you choose to be next, you can get information for you.
Oh,
Oh,
Jade,
gee.
You cut out when you said every time you choose to be.
Okay. Okay, so every time you want to connect with, reactivate us around your neck. So that would be the white rose, white orchid. I don't know why all the white flowers coming, because it just holds frequencies of all kinds with information from your spirit guides about your next step in life. So everybody on the call, I hope you're able to do that and we can have more fun.
Yeah, so that's really sweet. Thank you so much. So I just want, because you did cut out a little bit, I just want to ask you, so did you say whenever that when anyone chooses to connect to this string of white roses, they just have to envision it, connect to it, and
Yes. Mhm.
and it has the frequencies of like and guidance for whatever is next for them?
Yes. Yes.
Cool. Cool. Okay, thank you. Guys, everybody out there, I have to apologize for the audio being choppy. And I think, all in all, I think this was a lot of fun, Jade. I'm really grateful that you took some time out to be here and also to give that gift to everybody out there. And listen, I think keep in touch. Let's keep in touch. And guys, I'm going to list some links and stuff like that of how you can get in touch with Jade as well. And without further ado, would you like to say goodbye to everybody for our closing?
Yeah, well, thank you everybody for tuning in and look forward to connecting with you all soon. Thank you. Thank you, Tara, so much for inviting me. I had so much fun and you just
Awesome.
inspire me to get on with the podcast that I have been thinking about for so long. Like, I just need to do it. Now that I said it out in the air, now I said it out in the open, I have to do it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, everybody hold Jade to this. She has to do her podcast. Okay. All right. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. And you want to tune in tomorrow, our final interview for Energy Transformation Week 2016 is going to be an encore. I'm bringing back Dr. Carrie Shea from last year, and we're going to close out Energy Transformation Week in a really cool way. So you won't want to miss that. Tune in tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern. And again, Jade, thank you so much for being here. And everybody out there, thank you so much for tuning in. This is Tara, and take care, guys. All right, bye-bye.